guys, it's Shelly here. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me today. On today's video, I'll be continuing to share with you all my completed pages that I've colored as an adult. And in this particular video, I'll be sharing with you Klara Markova's books. And I've done recently the hardback books, so the Hannah Carlsons, the Maria Trolle, and I thought I'd just carry on and do Klara Markova before I move on to anything else. So at the moment, when I'm sharing with you my completed pages, I am sort of grouping it up into the artists, and then as we go along, I may have to then sort of group things up in a different way. But at the moment, we're going along with the artists. I have lots of books to still share with you guys. All right, so I'll just get started so the video is not too long. And just to let you know, my main pencils that I tend to use in all my pages are my Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer pencils. If I use anything different on any page, I'll let you know. I tend to use in these books Tombow dual brush pens when I want to do basing with pens. I never use alcohol markers. I don't want to sacrifice any pages. Even though the backs of the pages are just a little illustration, I still like to color them in, so I don't use alcohol markers in these books. And then I sometimes use distressing, sometimes soft pastels. I'll point those out to you so you can see what effects you get with those particular mediums on a page. And then for embellishments, I tend to use paint pens, usually my Tule Art paint pens. I use glitter gel pens, metallic gel pens, and sometimes Winsor & Newton white ink for sprinkling, but I'll show you guys as we go along. All right, so anything different, I will definitely mention to you. So I just thought, actually, let me just start with my postcards first. I only have one postcard completed, so I don't have that many pages actually completed in Klara Markova books. I really take my time with them, and when I don't have that much time, unfortunately, I don't tend to pull out the Klara Markovas. Even though I pull them out every month, I never get round to colouring them, sadly. But that's okay. I like to take my time with them, so I don't want to rush any of the illustrations I colour. So these are my postcards. I've moved it into a portfolio. It was in a nice little box, but it wasn't very convenient to flip through them and to look for a card to colour and things like that. So I barely ever went to the postcards, but Imogen from Colouring Kit had very long, ages ago now, shared with us how she puts her postcards, and it was in this particular portfolio. It was never in stock. When finally it came into stock, I decided to buy it, and I've used the box that the postcards were in to cut up and put this little section here, so you can tell when it's in the bookshelf what book it is. You can tell it's a Klara Markova, and the little tag here will specify it's Klara. And she had done something, Imogen had done something like this as well, which is where I got the idea from. And then I also cut up a little bookmark to keep as well from the box, and then the rest of the boxing I threw away. But it's so much more convenient to keep the postcards like this. Now this one was already a colored one that had come in the postcard set, so I haven't colored that. The only page I have colored is this one. I've shown you guys the postcards very recently and how I've set it up, so I'm not going to go through the whole portfolio, but I'm just going to show you my completed one. And this is the one I have completed quite a while ago. Okay, 2022. Well, I'm saying, oh, okay, it's 2 years. But yeah, really like how it turned out. Just playing around, really. The paper is really nice. It's good card, really thick cardstock. Just used my Albrecht Dürer pencils basically for the background and for everything, really. I don't think I've done any basing. I've just used my pencils wet and dry, and then some glitter gel pens, Posca white pen, and that's it. The hair, I would have got the idea from Norma Coloring's monthly challenges that she does for portraits. Either it's hair she chooses or a specific eye color or lipstick color, and that's how I would have got the idea to do half pink, half green, I'm sure. But I like how the color scheme turned out. Now, Klara Markova, when she sends out her books, she sends out a postcard in her book, which is really nice. And so I do have some doubles, and I think one of those is a double. So right at the back here, these are my doubles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doubles. How many books do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, but the postcards didn't come out till quite, well, I want to say recently, but basically it's only after she produced them, like, so I think I bought my first 2 books maybe in 2021 maybe, I can't remember, but basically the postcards weren't out yet at that time. But yeah, so there we go. So that's the first colored postcard. Now I'll go on to the books. So I have Clara Markova's Magical Delights, and I'm so glad I got this book because it's now very difficult to get. So it's not available on her store anymore. I always buy my books from her Etsy store. But yeah, so it's not available on her Etsy store anymore. It's out of print. And if you're very lucky, you might be able to get it off someone on eBay, something like that. So I'm so glad I went ahead and got it because it wasn't actually my favorite book. And so I had left it out as a book that I wasn't going to get anytime soon until maybe if I ever wanted to. But then I ended up getting it in I think maybe a couple of weeks after that. It was out of stock. So I'm so glad I got it. And yeah, it's her first book, so I'm going to go in order. It's her first book, so there's a lot of you can see that her art style has developed a lot from her first book. There's a lot of empty space in her first books. The facial features of the characters have changed, the animals have changed. There's a lot of good development we've seen in her art style, and less open background space for me to worry about. But this is the page I did, and I'm so happy with it. I just used my Art Duro pencils, even for the background, actually. I did activate it with water for the background. I used a tracing method to add some flowers, because I'm not very good at drawing even simple flowers like that. But I traced some of these flowers on this side and transferred it here, if you can see, up there. I have a video, how I color video, on how I use tracing to just add elements to a page. I added one there, I added one there, because we only had these 2 flowers on this side, and I wanted it to look a little bit more equal, not as much green on this side. So I just traced them, transferred it there so that I could add a few more flowers on that side. Art Duro pencils, a lot of Posca white pen, some glitter gel pen, and that's literally it. I didn't do much paint pen work at that time. Yeah, and then as you guys probably know, if you've watched my channel for a while, I try and do these bits as well, the same color scheme as I have done the main page, but I won't always color it at the same time. I usually leave it for mindless coloring at a later date, so I make a note of the colors I've used so that I can just then come and do the little illustrations here if I feel like coloring but I don't know what to color. So I like to do that. So yeah, I just match it up, which is why I don't use alcohol markers in her books, even though it's basically one-sided. These illustrations are quite small in this first book of hers, but as we go along onto her other books, they are a lot larger, so it's like as if you're getting postcards to color. So, and in this book, yes, it's pretty much repetitive throughout, but in her other books, she has a little bit of variety in those particular illustrations on this side. So I do like coloring them. But anyways, that's my only page done in this book, which is Klara Markova's Magical Delights. So glad I got my hands on that. And this is one of the first, it is the first Klara Markova book I actually bought, and that's Tenderful Enchantments. Again, I think this one is out of print, if I'm not mistaken, so it'll be hard to get if you haven't got it yet. I have colored a few pages in this because it was my first book of hers. I didn't have so many of her other books. And at that time, it was so early, 2020, that's when I got her first books. So 2020, and that was early on in my coloring. I started coloring in the year 2020, a few months before I bought this book. And so at that time, I wasn't on social media, I wasn't using YouTube or anything. I just decided to, well, I must have been using YouTube because I would have found out about Klara Markova from a colorist on YouTube. But I was just testing my mediums on the first pages, and now I feel so bad because she does have pages in the back that you could just, you know, play around on and test on without having to ruin your first page. But that's okay. So I was just playing with my Art Duro pencils. I think I had done some Tombow Jewel brush pens, and then basing, and then the pencils over the top. So I was just trying out my mediums. Wink of Stella here, which you can maybe see a little shine, tiny shine. So just playing with the mediums there. Similar here, I went straight to the second page and in the same month. And again, I used Distress inks here and then just my Albrecht Dürer pencils. So basing with Distress inks, Albrecht Dürer pencils. And I would have activated with water as well as done it dry. I put a bit of Wink of Stella. I do like the Wink of Stella more than, I keep forgetting the name of this one. Is this the Spectrum Noir Sparkle? Yeah, I think I prefer Wink of Stella a bit more. I mean, the shine is still there. But yeah, I like this page. Although my skin wasn't very good, it looks quite dirty, the skin. You can see that. A bit grayish in the shadows. Sorry, guys. I haven't tagged them. At least you'll have a look at the book. If you haven't got it or have not seen it before, I'm sure you've seen these books before. Okay, so this page here, again, quite an early page. I used Distress ink for the background. This is before I started using drawing gum for it. So you can see like there's a halo around the line art, which nowadays when I use drawing gum, I don't get. So I like using the drawing gum when I'm doing my Distress inking these days. I use Distress ink for the ground as well. And then I use my, I want to say I use my Albrecht Dürer pencils. But the reds look a little bit, the greens are definitely Albrecht Dürer. So yeah, I think it's Albrecht Dürer pencils and then some metal gel pens. At this point, it would have been the Sakura Jelly Roll, so the metallic, and the Stardust, so the glitter. Because that's the only glitter gel pens and metallic gel pens I had at the time. Posca white paint pen, and then I just did this side as well. Yeah. Yeah, and this, because this is my first Klara Markova book, and you know, sometimes with new illustrators, it's really hard to find your own style in them. You can see how big the illustrations became on this side compared to the first book. So it gives you quite a lot of other extra coloring time, and the illustrations are a little bit different. So on that side, we have the mushroom has and the berries, and here we have the flowers. I think are those bleeding hearts. So I did this page and I'm not happy with it. I think the colors are all way too bright. I don't like how my little mermaid turned out, the face, or the skin at least, and the eyes. But which pencils did I use? I think I used Castle Art pencils for this one. If I'm not mistaken, I was already on Instagram by this time. And I'd won a giveaway from Castle Arts, and I got the Castle Arts pencils, the 120 set, and I think that's what I used here. So I think my greens and everything is a bit different to what I like with my Albrecht Dürers, but I was still learning. It was only a year into my colouring. And then I've used a bit of metallic gel pen. Again, it would have just been the Sakura at this point, the Sakura Jelly Rolls, Posca white paint pen, and that's it. So yeah, it's okay. I think I could have done better. Well, maybe not at that time, but now. This one here. So this one, I've used a combination of Black Widows. So I must have got Black Widows and I wanted to try them out. So the background is with Black Widows and the ground as well. That's why the green is so different again. I think I've done the person and the berries and all that with my Albrecht Dürer pencils, but the leaves and all are with Black Widows. They're not my regular leaves up here. So yeah, I like how my background turned out. I think I put in those clouds myself, but I'm not a huge fan of Black Widows. So I think I can tell from the pages that I've coloured which ones I actually enjoyed colouring and which ones not. And the first three that I've just shown you, because I was using different pencils to my Albrecht Dürers, I don't think I enjoyed them as much. I loved colouring this bit here. I know that, and I use my Albrecht Dürers for that. But yeah, it just showed me that I can do so much with my arbiters and be happy with it. This one I'm very happy with. So this one, I use my arbiter pencils. I use Distress inks for the wall, and then arbiter pencils, wet and dry, a bit of Posca white paint pen, some Sakura glitter pen, so Stardust. Sorry, you guys can't see when I'm trying to get the shine there. Not much, actually. I tried to do a bit of light reflection sort of on the headboard of the bed and on the pillows and stuff. I love the color palette for this page, and I really like how the blues, the turquoises pop out of the page from the rest of the colors. I do really like that. And then of course I've done the same on this side. I keep this side very simple now. So in the beginning I used to color sort of the sky as well. I didn't in that one. But the other two sort of, I colored the sky. I've lost them now. There, yeah. But nowadays I keep it quite simple, and I usually just do the lower part of the illustration, so the ground, so just ground the illustrations, really give it a little base. But I don't always color the all around it like a background. I just leave it simple. I really like that page, really enjoyed coloring it. I like the end result. Yeah, I do have, this is quite an early page where when I used to be able to just say I'm going to do a double page spread, and it was absolutely fine. I had all the time in the world for it. Now it's very rare. I have to really think about whether I can get the double page spread done. Yeah, that was in 2020 December. So I did this page, and I love how it turned out. Still early coloring, but I love the colors I've chosen. I've used my Arbittura pencils. I used Distress inks for the background, for the wall, but everything else is Arbittura pencils activated with water as well as dry. I used some Tombow Jewel brush pens for basing, like the leaves and the berries, and also the purple, the pinkish purple elements, if I remember correctly, before going over with my Arbittura pencils. I use this gold combination a lot still. Yes, I really like this page. And again, I was trying to do a little bit of reflections. Still today, I still haven't perfected light reflections, but I was experimenting. And obviously I used my white paint pen a lot, which is good to make the snow look like snow. And yeah, I remember enjoying coloring this page and taking my time, but it still didn't take that long to what it would take me nowadays. I don't know why nowadays I take a lot longer than I did when I was a beginner, because now you would think that, oh, you know your colors and you're a bit faster, you know what you're doing, but no, I'm slower now than I was at the beginning of my coloring journey. But yeah, really like that double page spread. I'm glad I got a double page spread done. So that was my first Klara Markova book that I bought, and that's Tenderful Enchantments. I say I bought, but actually my husband had gifted it to me for a birthday. All right. Then I have Klara Markova's Fairy Celebration. So basically I have all her books. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video. And she has a new book coming out this year. I don't know when. She hasn't yet said anything. We haven't seen any sneak peeks yet. No name for the book, I don't think. But I'm really excited. And I do get her books, even though I don't color in them so much. I know they're pricey, but I don't spend so much on other supplies and things like that. So I think I can justify it. And I just love her art style and the quality of her books and the amount of coloring time you get in her books. It just makes it completely worth it. Yeah, the shipping cost is a bit unfortunate. But anyways, let's go to Fairy Celebrations. I got this book a little bit later, actually, than Tenderful Enchantments. So I've got this page here, which I absolutely love. I love the color palette for this page. Arbittura pencils for the background. For the foreground, I may have used a bit of Tombow Jewel brush pens for basing the leaves, and then the Arbitturas over the top. I used Posca white paint pen. Oh yeah, I remember really liking this page, and then I decided, I don't know why I decided to do this cloud sort of things around the little flower houses. But I used Posca with that, and I just sort of dabbed it with my finger, and then after I did that I wasn't very happy, so I should have left it. But I like the rest of the page, the color palette and all of that. And yeah, it just shows how much you can do with one set of pencils. So I got so comfortable with my art book drawers that I could literally just color a background from the background till the end, other than embellishments, of course. I was doing with my art book drawer pencils, and that's what I enjoyed and I liked the result of. And then again, just use the colors on that side. Yeah, I really liked this page. Obviously I had, oh, I didn't actually cover up the black lines there. All right. This book is beautiful. I actually really love this book. Oh yeah, and she also gives bookmarks with every book she sends. Again, so much that she gives for colouring. This is a page I've not yet coloured this side on, but I will. I've got the colours saved for this. Actually, this is a full colour along on the channel, so it will be under the playlist of Klara Markova Fairy Celebrations, and I did it last year for Mermaid. So if you do want to have a look for a summary page, or I know it's coming to the end of May, but if you want a mermaid page, there is a colour along for this on the channel, and I love this page. Again, even though it's been a couple of years since I have got these books, I still use I love using my arbitrary pencils in these books. I've used it for literally everything. So the background of the sky, that on the sky, I activated it with water, and I would have gone in with the pencils dry again, looking at the finish. Tried to add in some clouds. Not so happy with my cloud effects, but eventually I'll learn. I did the water with my pencils activated with water. I didn't go over with the pencils dry, maybe just in the shadow areas to deepen up my shadows. And yeah, everything else as well. I may have used Tombow Dual brush pens, but you guys will have to watch the color along for that. But I loved doing the flowers. I decided to go for white flowers, and I showed you guys the colors I used, even though I used, I think, purples and pinks and yellows and a bit of grey. They still look like white flowers, and I shared that with you guys on the video. So I love how those flowers turned out. They're white, but yet they have a bit of interest, and it just fits with the rest of the colors that are on the page. My skin looks a bit better now compared to the other illustrations. Even though there were such small areas of skin, they looked quite dirty. I don't know why. I don't know what color combination I was using, so I like how that looks. I've used glitter gel pen, Posca white pen. I tried to make it look like this area was underwater. And here, the gold is now probably the Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic in gold. And it's probably the best gold glitter gel pen to have. Beautiful shine to it. I'm really not catching it very good for you guys, but you must have seen it in other people's videos. And yeah, I love this. And my bookmark is here because I want to, whenever I have time or I'm doing mindless coloring, I will come and color that page with the same color palette. So yeah, love that page. It's on the channel. And then, sorry, I should have marked this, but it takes so long to go through all the pages and mark them, and then the video as well. All right, here we go. So this was a bit of an earlier page. Love how it turned out again. Albert Dürer pencils, guys, for the background as well. The paper is so good. Even though I activate the pencils, there is absolutely, can you see, there's no wrinkling, no warping. You need very little water to activate Albert Dürer pencils. So yeah, activated with water for the background. I didn't go over with the pencils dry. If I did, it would literally just be at the edges to darken it up a bit. I would have probably used a bit of Tombow Dual brush pens for basing like the leaves and the berries, and then my pencils dry over the top. Certain areas I would just, so basically I use a combination of activating my pencils and going over with the pencils dry. So using the activated pencils as a base, or I would use Tombow Dual brush pens as the base. Yeah, and I like that I did the moons like as if they're glass moons, because there is a real, sort of a real moon there, and then we have the little sort of ornaments. So that's why I made it look like, tried to make it look like a glass moon that they're all sitting on. So adorable. I did this in February, so it would have been for like Valentine's Day. And lots of Posca white pen, and then you can see the glitter gel pens, a little bit of the shine, and then the colors on this side. I don't put too much effort here. I just randomly choose whatever colors I've used here. I'll just randomly distribute it. Yeah, just to color that side as well. All right, And then I've done quite a few pages in this book. I really like this book, actually. This one, this is also a full color along on the channel, again under the, which book is it, Fairy Celebrations playlist. Okay, and this was for Christmas in 2022, so yep, a color along is available. And I'm trying to think, I'm trying to remember what I did for the, you guys will be able to see it on the video, but I think I used my Albrecht Dürer pencils activated with water as well as dry for pretty much the whole page. I love how I spent time on my cookies here to make them, to give them like a dusting of icing sugar, and I added the icing on that. So it was just the curve, I think, and then I added icing on it and these berries, and then the red and green stripes. That's supposed to be like a jammy dodger. Love how the heart actually looks quite shiny, like as if it is jam. So I really liked the time I spent on those 3 cookies there, but I love it. I didn't try and do any light reflections on this other than at the fireplace, and then I've used the colors on this side as well, except that I gave a snow base, yeah. But yeah, I really like it. I like how this page turned out. It looks cozy, it looks warm, it looks fun, it looks Christmassy. I've done this Christmas winter page as well. Again, Albrecht Dürer pencils, guys, literally everything, including the sky. I used Tombow Joe brush pens on this page, I remember, for basing, especially all these pinky purple elements, and for sort of laying out my colors to see what colors were going to go where before I went in with my pencils dry. I activated the sky as well as the snow with water, and then went over with the pencils dry as well. And then I must have some glitter gel pen and metallic gel pen here and there. Yeah. And then the same page colors on this side. Do I have any more? I don't think so. There we go. So that's Clara Markova's Fairy Celebrations. This one only has 1 page, Clara Markova's Fairy Miracles, and I have picked out a page for spring, which I didn't get around to, and now I've kept this book for summer, so I do want to color another page in this book since I've only done 1, and this is the page here. And I do like it, actually. I wasn't so sure about my little, I think it's a dragon there. I found him too dark. There's not much contrast between the dark areas and the light areas, so I could have done the dragon a bit better. I don't mind the color, but it could have had a bit more contrast between the shadows and highlight areas. So not so happy with how that dragon turned out, unfortunately, but everything else I'm really happy with. Again, I have a lot of work to do with trying to add my snow, my clouds in the sky. Yeah, they don't look natural. I like that I added it and I tried to make that effort, but the skill is still not yet there. But again, I've just used Albrecht Dürer pencils for everything, like the background, including probably activated with water in certain areas. I may have used Tombow Joe brush pens for like the pink and the purple areas. Yes, definitely. Possibly the leaves, and then my pencils. Again, look, there's no warping. I literally do the whole page activated with water. Such good quality books, which is why I say it's worth every penny, other than for the shipping. And then I've used the same colors on this side. But yeah, I do like that page. Just could have done a bit better with my contrast on the dragon, and it would have looked so much better. It would have given more of a pop if I kept the highlight areas brighter. And that's the only page I've done in this book. So hopefully, I didn't get around to it in spring. Hopefully in summer, I've got some nice pages picked out. Oh, I kept this page picked out in case I decide I'm in the mood to follow a color along. I remember that Chris Cheng has done a color along on this page. I know she uses Prismacolor, but you never know. Maybe I might follow a color along. I haven't done that for ages, but I'm not sure. I like to put my own thought into my pages, but yeah, I like this page. So hopefully I will get a page done here. But I've also picked out my postcards, so maybe at least 1 Clara Markova page. All right, Klara Markova, Fairy Touch of Magic, almost done now. This is a book I bought along with Tenderful Enchantments. So I got 2 books at the same time, the first books that I bought. And so that's why you will see that I've done the first page again, just playing around with my Albrecht Dürer pencils. Not very good. So I wasn't very good with my Albrecht Dürer pencils yet. You can see the difference in my backgrounds for my Albrecht Dürer pencils. Like, it makes such a big difference with a bit of practice. So if I just bring up a page that has it like here, there you go. Look at the difference. You can't even tell that it's been activated with water for the background on these pages. Whereas here you can see how diluted it looks, and yeah, it doesn't look well blended or anything. So I've come a long way with my Albrecht Dürers. But yeah, so I was obviously experimenting with my Albrecht Dürers, activating it with water, trying them out. And I think those bits on the roof are actually Black Widows, those colors. They even feel smoother. I don't get good results with my Black Widows all the time. I'm going to try them out every now and then, but yeah, I don't have the full sets. This is quite an early page. Not a huge fan of it. Not sure why. It looks incomplete to me. Like, I've not covered up the black lines. I have got Posca white paint pen, but I didn't cover up the black lines of the white flowers. That would have really helped. The sky I'm not too keen on. Again, I've used my Albrecht Dürer pencils, but not as successfully because it looks diluted. It looks a bit unfinished for my style of coloring. And then I feel like I have quite a few bright colors, yet the building is quite dull. So I don't think it works completely. Like, I love all these bright colors that I've used, but then I should have made my building a bit brighter. Maybe the roof could have been a different color to make it pop a little bit more, but I'm not 100% happy with this page. But again, Albrecht Dürer pencils, sky, ground, activated with water, and then the pencils over the top. I've used some metallic gel pens, so at this point it would again be just the Sakura I would have had. And I've transferred, used the same color combination there. Yeah, I love this page actually. Yeah. So this is quite an early page, but I love how it turned out. It's so bright and so happy and so summery. Again, Albrecht Dürer pencil for everything in the background, activated with water. And then the pencils over the top. I've used Tombow Joe brush pens for basing, all these pinky purple elements, the yellow elements, even the leaves. And then I've gone over, even the blue actually. And then I've gone over with the pencils dry. I just love the colors that I've used. I love how the yellow pops. The colors just work really nicely together. I don't know how I came up with that. Hopefully I should try and do that again in the future, because it just looks so summery, so happy, so fun. I love it. And I've used the same colors on this side, but yeah, I really like that. And then again, I would have just had Sakura if there is any sparkle that you can see, or shine, and Posca white paint pen. Loved that page, loved coloring it, loved the end result. Makes me smile every time I look at that page because it's so bright and happy. This page, I don't think it's a color along on the channel, but I've done quite a few of the elements as a how I color video for an autumn series, Halloween elements. So I've done like the bat, I think. I've done the stonework, if I'm not mistaken. I've done the raven, the tombstone, the zombie, possibly the ghosts. So I've done quite a few elements from this page as a how I color video, and then the rest of it is, I think, colored in my own time. Albrecht Dürer pencils, sky background as well as the grass, activated with water, then my pencils dry. I would have used some Tombow Joe brush pens here and there for basing, and then going over with the pencils dry. Love my stonework there. I love these mushrooms. Now these mushrooms, I wouldn't have thought of doing that color. I think I got it from the front. Yeah, I got the inspiration for the mushrooms from the front cover. I just liked how they looked, and it worked on this page because there's so many dark colors that those little pops of bright turquoises, pinks and greens just broke it all up, broke broke up all the dark colors, and I think it worked really, really well. I tried to do the light reflections on like the pumpkins and on the stonework here, up here as well, so a little bit subtle light reflections, so I liked doing that. Posca white paint pen, and then the glitter gel pen and all would have been, this, what, in 2022 must have been the Chromatech glitter gel pens, but you know, I'm not very good at showing off the sparkle and shine. But there we go. Love that I did this double page spread. Love how it turned out. Enjoyed every second of it. All right. And then this might be the last one. No, it's not the last one in this book. So I did this page. Now this one, the background is soft pastels, but the ground is my Faber-Castell Albert Dürer pencils, activated with water, and then pencils over the top. And everything else, again, Tombow Jewel brush pens and Albert Dürer pencils. And the inspiration for this was fully from the front cover. I loved the colors chosen, and so I just kept to that, and I love how it turned out. Yeah, that I just really like how she's done those colors on the cover, and then I just transferred the color combinations here. Loved this page too. This one was a very early one, probably other than the front page. Did I do the front page here? Yeah, I did. Not the name page, but the title page was the first one, and then this was probably the second one I colored in this book. Not so happy with it. I did distressings this time for the background, but of course I was a beginner at distressings. I think it came out too soft, too subtle. I think I needed a little bit more in the background. I don't have so much contrast as you can see in my leaves. I've not kept much difference between the highlight areas and the shadow areas, so I don't think that pops very well. I love the other colors I've used, but I should have, that's like such a large element on the page. I needed to give that contrast to make it pop a little bit more, which I unfortunately didn't manage. Even my gold, like there's not much contrast. So yeah, you can tell it's an early work. I don't mind it. It's not my favorite page. And then I use the same colors here. And these lighter sort of biscuity elements on the page. And then also for the wool here, I used Black Widow pencils. And for the gingerbread man here. So those are not Albert Dürers, but yeah, Black Widows. And that's it. Love, love, love this book as well. Fairy Touch of Magic by Klara Markova. All right, last book, guys. Little Secrets from My Fairy House by Klara Markova. Again, another beautiful book. And I've only done, actually I've done 2 pages in this. I just did a test page. Now I've learned that I should not do my test page in the front of the book. So I did my test page here. I used my Albert Dürer pencils and my Tombow Jewel brush pens because those are my main mediums that I tend to use. So I wanted to make sure that works, and then some glitter gel pens, and just kept it very simple. And I like the paper in this book. I know it's changed. I don't know how many people, I feel like I've heard mixed opinions about the paper. For me, it works because I can use my Tombow Jewel brush pens here and activate it with water and sort of blend them out. Like they should on marker paper, which I can't do in every single coloring book we have on the paper that we are provided. Whereas in this book, even though she's changed the paper, it's still good quality paper. The pencils work really well. My Albert Dürer works well without wrinkling the paper, even though I use water. And then the Tombows work really well. So I like that aspect of the new paper. And then I did this page, which is the main page I did in the book. So that was just my tester. At least I didn't mess up my front. I love that page. But yeah, I don't use my front pages now as tester pages. But I did this page and I like how it turned out. Again, playing around with different colors for white flowers to make them look white. I used my Albert Dürer pencils for the background and for the ground and activated with water, and then the pencils dry, even in the new paper. No warping, you can see that, even though I've done the whole background with the Albert Dürers. And I've used a combination of Tombow Jewel brush pens for basing and my Albert Dürers activated with water, and then the pencils over the top. And then I've used glitter gel pens, as you can see a little bit. Posca white paint pen, 2 Art paint pens now, from this page. This is from 2023, so yeah, Tuli Art paint pens. I can't believe this is 2023. I've had this book for a year now, and I've only done this one page. It's ridiculous. Time is going so fast. This actually felt like I've just done this page recently, but it's been a year. That's just really thrown me off. I did not realize I colored this. Is it 2020? Have I made a mistake? I don't know. 10th of March 2023. Is that right, guys? Yeah, I started the book in December 2022, so that was the tester page, and then this was the first completed page. So it's been a year. I thought, unless I've got my years wrong. No, this was first published in 2022, so that's probably right. That's insane. I actually, when I'm looking at this page, I feel like I've just recently done this page, but it's been a year already. Anyways. So yeah, I basically used my normal mediums on this page, and then I started doing the page next to it, and that I dip in and out slowly to get that done, because like I said, it's mindless colouring. But yeah, I like how this turned out, and I enjoyed the new paper. It didn't really make much, like I wasn't disappointed in it. It's still good quality paper, but it made my Arboctura pencils and my Tombow gel brush pens work a lot nicer. So that's good. And that is my completed pages in Klara Markova's done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and along with me had a little bit of a reality check to do with the time. I can't believe it's been a year since that book got published. Obviously, time is going way too fast. All right. So yeah, that's my completed pages. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back. I have so many more completed pages to share with you guys. It's just the time I need. I know they're quite spaced out. It's just because, yeah, I want to try and share other things with you guys on the channel, not just completed pages. I want to share color alongs with you and how I color videos. And so there are other things that come in the way to me doing my completed pages videos. So hope you guys don't mind, but I will be coming back with some more, many more completed pages. All right, guys, I'll leave you guys to it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with you guys again soon. So until then, take care. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.